Take your time.
Influences. As far as music, I mean, I grew up in a very conservative family, so I wasn't opened up to many types of music up until the point I was about like 14 years old, and so as far as I can see, that's where I kind of make the start of my influenced music career. But at that point, thanks to this guy, it was probably the bands that have influenced me the most would probably be Blink-182, Blindside, which was actually one of my favorite bands, just because a lot of the
I saw them play.
vocal.
I saw them play one time, and he walked on a dude's head.
Really?
It was pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Blindside.
Valuable information.
And POD. POD was a big favorite of mine back in the day. My tastes have, I would say, broadened since then. I wouldn't say changed, because a lot of the bands that I liked back in the day I still like, but there's my horizons have been opened up a little bit more. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me for music anyways, but everything else is pretty much Nicky Benz or anybody from Brazzers or Hustler, whatever.
He's impressionable.
Yeah.
My turn? I'm a lot like James. I have a really broad spectrum of music I like. I'd say there's few bands that have stuck with me over the years that really influenced me. Incubus, DMB, Under Oath, Devil Wears Prada, POD, like
Yep.
James. Grits.
Yes.
Grits. Yeah, stuff like that. And of course Blink-182. A lot of punk background, so yeah.
For myself, I really started really getting into music through my father, which listened to a lot of Joe Walsh and the Eagles from back in the day. And from there, I took it and expanded from that into like Guns N' Roses and Metallica, and over the years like them, I've expanded into liking all kinds of music just about. But that's really where I started out in 80s rock or metal, yeah.
Growing up, I listened to I listened to hardcore or I listened to hip hop, and I kind of stemmed off like the New York City hardcore scene, digging into that stuff. And the first time I ever heard H2O, that kind of just changed my whole thinking of music, because I thought everything was supposed to be hard and pissed off, and and the fact that they added some vocal, like singing and harmonies and stuff to it, that just turned me on to a completely different like set of music. And I got really big into Saves the Day and stuff like that. And then just growing up, I mean, more and more bands like Glassjaw and The Movie Life was probably my biggest influence, and then that stemmed into I'm the Avalanche and stuff like that, but the more, I've gotten into more poppy stuff as of late, but I'm still like big into the hardcore and hip hop and stuff. So, I mean, it's good stuff. I mean, Mac Lethal, anything off Rhymesayers, those guys are pretty brutal. Atmosphere, do work. So,
Word.
but yeah, and Say Anything too. Max
Yes.
Bemis he's pretty good at what he does. So,
Absolutely.
but I mean, I think that's how we get our sound. I mean, we all came from different backgrounds, and it really shows in our music.
Yeah.
We all have somewhat of a
Common
a
ground.
fairly strong punk influence for the most part, but then everything else, there's the little differences between each one of us that makes it just, as unique as it is.
Yeah, Preston's 80s rock. James comes from a punk background. I'd say me, I've come from like a kind of churchy gospel background. And Alan's just plain old.
I've been around the block. I've been around the block a little bit.
So,
He's
so
fighting the age spots.
I live. Wow, it's hurt a little bit.
That was hurtful.
No, but I mean, it really, it's good, because I mean, we all coming from where we come from, we don't really get set into a sound. We're not a metal band, we're not a punk band. not a pop band. We're a rock and roll band. That we have the metal licks and the kind of punk drumming and the.
And the
I could rap.
baller
Yeah.
antics, you know.
You can
Did
rap.
you say baller antics?
Yes.
Baller antics.
Awesome.
And now I'm gonna take a break to grab a water bottle.
So yeah, that's the.
You grab me
it.
mine. Mine's on the floor.
Pee.
It is my.